Sorry about that, everyone. We had some weird technical difficulties. My laptop just started flashing, and then the computer saying was flashing red, and I didn't know what was going on. But we ran out of Wi-Fi for just a few seconds, and I'm not even sure where it cut off at, so don't know how much we'll be repeating ourselves.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen here? 'Cause,
We had birds interrupt us. We've had a lot of. At one point, we had a light that just randomly came on while I was recording, and we
guys all laughing.
Started laughing about that. So something new every week.
So check with us every week and find out what's going to happen.
So you never know.
But I believe we was talking about Brad Keselowski. Yeah, he kind of ran out of momentum, and Dover he really couldn't get really going. So I was really surprised to see those two teams not really make it.
Well, like Keselowski built up a lot of playoff points, and with those two bad races that he had during, the round of 12, including the wreck at Dover, and Talladega had, those issues running out of fuel. But, I think that's just one of those anomalies in the playoffs that just happen, and it really makes everything kind of odd.
Yeah, because Ryan Blaney, he was like minus 22 points starting the race, and he only missed it by 6. So it's, man, he's so close, but you can tell he's really trying. It was really good to see the new sponsor this week or this past week, and he ain't got nothing to be really sad about. I mean, that team's like it's really building, and I think next year they'll come out even stronger.
Yeah, I think he can look back at last year and say, well, I mean, the round of 8 last year, and this year I didn't. What went wrong? You even won the Roval. He won a race in the playoffs this time, and it's crazy how this time is the one that he didn't make it past the round of 12.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to Talladega, if maybe they pitted earlier or something, you never know. He might have had an extra 6 points and he'd have been in just to cause a little bit of tank of fuel. And you never know when NASCAR is going to add another lap of caution. So it's just the way it goes sometimes.
I think we've had a weird playoffs so far. I really don't think none of the winners we've had so far have been true playoff contenders. Because you look at it, we've had just so many odd things happen to dominant cars. We've had, the fuel running out at the last minute. We've had tires just bursting out of nowhere. We've had the valve stems on some of these tires just get destroyed, and then everything that can go wrong to Kyle Busch, Harvick, and Truex has just happened.
Yeah, and just think if Talladega didn't have an extra lap of caution, and say Kurt Busch made it in, then Almirola wouldn't have made it. So
yeah,
it's been a weird playoffs. It seems like the top playoff contenders, something happens.
That's like with Chase Elliott. Everyone's saying, "Oh, he's a true contender now," but the only reason why he has won those races is because weird anomalies has happened to the big 3.
Yeah,
and if Homestead's like that, we could get a random champion.
Yes, this could be really exciting to see in Homestead to see what's going to happen. If the big 3 can step up, because they're going to go for it. It seems like, and especially Harvick's team, you don't know. His weak point is pit road.
Don't even go down pit road, man. Just keep going. Yeah, I think that's something that team's going to work on, and they're going to get better. And I think really in the championship 4, you want to be running second to Harvick or Kyle Busch, and wait for those weird anomalies to happen, because that it might possibly happen.
Yeah, it could be you wait too long when the checker flag come out.
Yeah. Well, if it's 10 laps to go and you're right there, don't go say, "Oh, they're going to go down pit road," and it's going to be a wild finish at Homestead. I believe we might have an all Ford Final Four. No matter what, there's going to be a Ford in there. That's the crazy thing. There's 5 of them in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And Truex, I mean, he really hadn't showed a whole lot in the playoffs. I know he was almost to win the Roval, and in under circumstances you get knocked out, but it's tough to say about that team.
Truex has really concerned me when it comes to his speed, because it seems like Kansas would be a place where he would dominate. Instead, he was, he got a top 5 finish just because he salvaged it, but he was struggling almost all the way through. And Kyle Busch's speed hasn't been great either, but he's been able to work with his car and get better, and somehow end up finishing second with cars like that. And I think that's what Homestead's going to come down to, I believe. Just because these cars aren't great at the beginning, they'll still be there at the finish.
Yeah, sometimes it's just on luck of trying to get your car at the right place at the end of the race.
Like last year's playoffs, all we saw was Kyle Busch, Truex, Kyle Busch, Truex. This year we've seen so many different winners, and none of them has really won all year, besides Kyle Busch. Because Brad Keselowski waited till the very end to start winning, and then you had Ryan Blaney at the Roval. He hadn't won all year. Chase Elliott just won Watkins Glen, just won his second and his third race. And Eric Almirola winning his second race. So all these weird different things happening is bringing up some new drivers to the contention.
Just think if Brad or Ryan Blaney would go and win some races, the final races and stuff, and they're like, we dodged a bullet because they could have been the champion.
Yeah.
So,
no, I think that Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Truex, they're going to be really hoping that Brad Keselowski does win Martinsville, if not them, because you think about how strong the 2-car was last year at Martinsville, and also all of Penske, because I think super speedways in Martinsville, they just understand it. And it's also crazy to think, what Clinton Boyer could do. He won last time was at Martinsville. If he could do that again, he's in the championship 4.
Yeah, it'll be really good for him to be in that Final Four, and because he's been in the race a long time, and it'd be good to see him make it Final Four.
It'd be crazy to see his celebration if he won the championship. One thing I was really hoping to see is like a Homestead rematch where we had Kyle, Harvick, Truex, and Brad all make it, and it's like the same race that they had last year, just redone. But it looks like that is not going to happen because the 2-car did not make it. So we're going to get a whole different Final Four, even if it's just one spot different.
So what about the Xfinity?
Well, the Xfinity is very tight. Daniel Hemrick did have a 20-point lead over the cutoff, but with that L1 penalty he got hit with Wednesday, or today, he was docked 10 points, and now only makes him about 13 or 14 points above the cutoff.
So really none of them's really safe.
Austin Cindric, I think, will have to win. Cole Custer most likely will have to win, but not necessarily in a must-win situation. Everyone else is so close on points. We had that weird first lap crash at Kansas, and these playoffs have just been so unpredictable. Things are just going haywire everywhere, and we might have one of the craziest finishes to the championship on all 3 series than we've ever had in this playoff format.
I mean, all three series, like, nobody really wants to take over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it seems like if you're in the playoffs and that's the driver is having the most trouble. That's the way it's been a lot of times. It's like, I don't know if it's the nerves or everybody's just pushing everything to the limits.
So at the Truck Series race, whoever wins that race, if they're in the playoffs, they're going to Homestead. Same thing for NASCAR, or for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. So it's going to be a really crazy race at Martinsville. And we're going to be there personally, so it's going to be our first time at Martinsville, so it's going to be a really exciting time.
Yeah, I might have to get me a hot dog.
Yeah, we didn't think about the racing. First thing we said was we're going to get one of them hot dogs. So.
Oh, yeah, we'll have a race. Okay.
I want to pay $50-some just for a hot dog. Yeah, we're going to also vlog our experience. So probably a few days after the race, we'll put that up. It's going to be our first time vlogging, so that's going to be really something.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting because I hadn't ever vlogged before, and so I'd be nervous at Martinsville and nervous on the vlog.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to get into too many drivers' faces about it, because they already get that by so many other people throughout the course of their careers. So we're just gonna, probably just record our experience going to the track, and record our experience during the race. So yeah, that was kind of our Martinsville review. It's going to be like we can't really preview this thing because no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you go to a short track and who knows what's going to happen. I believe Chase was really good there. Him and Denny got into it.
NASCAR and NBC's been tweeting forever about, but we'll see if something new arises from that.
Yeah, maybe he'll get redemption and get him another win there. He's coming on strong all of a sudden, and who knows, he could just punch his ticket and get into Homestead.
Yeah, but with the speed that he's had, the last race we were at Martinsville, he didn't have great speed. We'll see if the Chevys have improved, but if it's anything close to what we had in the spring, it's going to be a tough race for that 19.
Yeah, and just think if Jimmy Johnson steals a win.
Yeah, that would be something to go see, because he's been dying for that redemption win, and he wants to shut up all the haters on Twitter, and just enjoy another win.
Yeah, I believe he's still got some more wins left. He's coming on real strong now. He's really trying. So with the speed that Chase is bringing to the table a little bit, and they can feed off each other, and maybe he'll get him another Martinsville win.
Yeah, and really, I look at Penske when it comes to who can win, and also look at them at a certain point. Brad and Blaney are no longer in the playoffs. They can focus purely on Joey Logano.
Yeah,
they can get Joey Logano a win. Team orders and all that stuff could come into play. Whereas you got Stewart-Haas, who has all of their eggs in the basket in different places, so in different baskets. So, you got Clint Bowyer, Almirola, Harvick, and Kurt Busch. They're all going for a championship. So there's going to be no team orders when it comes to the other teammates.
And it's pretty cool that we got all manufacturers represented here. But who knows? We could have all Fords in Homestead
for the Ford Championship weekend, so that'd be pretty special to see.
I ain't saying it could happen. It really could happen, but I believe with Kyle Busch, I don't think he's gonna let Dog Force.
Yeah. Kyle Busch is in the same spot Joey Logano's in, because no other like actual Joe Gibbs Racing members are there. You have Martin Truex, but that's different teams, and I think Furniture Row's gonna run their own race and not going to try to get any help from the 18 or from any of the other Joe Gibbs Racing organization, manufacturer, teammates, and all that stuff. So I think with Stewart-Haas having all four in there, it's also a disadvantage when you look at everyone else is just one car, one team in the playoffs.
Yeah, but Tony Stewart's really happy right now, sort of.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it'd be good to get all four of my drivers in there.
When you look at it, it's crazy because we could have all four Stewart-Haas into the next round. We also could have all four of them being eliminated, and it would be just that team. That would be something that's probably highly unlikely. We're at least probably going to get at least one with Kevin Harvick, maybe two. Clint Boyer can seal the deal with Martinsville, or Kurt Busch. He's also really, really good here. Won here in 2014, so could possibly see that happen. Then you got Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick. They haven't won in quite a while when it comes to how dominant they've been this season. So they're really wanting to get back on the map, get back on track, and show everybody who's dominant in the series. So I think those two are the ones to watch out for this week. Also look out for some of those below the cutoff line to be extremely aggressive.
Yeah, because Harvick, he was dominating, and then he just had a mistake at the end. So it ain't over till the last lap.
Yeah, I think the Fords are going to be tough to beat, and then throw Kyle Busch in there, and one of those is your winner for Martinsville. But we'll have to see. It could be a completely different winner. Could have a first-time winner that's not in the playoffs.
That'd be
just like the last year in the Truck Series, Noah Gragson got his first win in the series, and denies anyone's ticket to Homestead. We could see that in the Truck Series as well this weekend.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. I believe that is all the time we have. Thank you all for joining, and we just talked about the playoffs a little bit. And join us next week for our Halloween special. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but comment down below what you think we should do. We'll see you next time.